This is Akashwani Mokokchung, and you are tuned into another enriching edition of Mokokchung 360. Today we have the pleasure of hosting Mrs. Hannah, the proud owner of The Play Cafe, a vibrant and joyful haven designed especially for children to learn, play, and explore in a safe and creative environment. Well, we're truly delighted to have her with us, and we extend our heartfelt thanks to her for taking the time to join us on today's program. So, Mrs. Hannah, for the benefit of our listeners, could you start by introducing yourself and giving us a glimpse into your story?
Hello, thank you so much for having me with you today. It's a privilege to be here with you. So I'm Hannah and I'm from the UK, but I've been living in Mokokchung for 11 years now. And my husband is Al. We have 3 children and I started the Play Cafe in November 2023.
Thank you so much. So let's get back to the real conversation. That is, could you please introduce your cafe to our listeners and share how the idea first came to life?
So when my first child was about 2 or 3 years old, I realized that there was nowhere to take her in Mokokchung just to relax, to let her run off some energy and have some fun. And I realized that lots of parents might be in a similar situation where their children just cooped up at home and they don't have much to do. So that's how the idea first came to life. And it's a very small setup, but I've tried my best to fit as much into this small space that encourages learning and creativity and lets them release their energy as well after a long day at school or a long week at school. So I've tried my best to make it a good place for all the children in Mokokchung.
Well, thank you so much. And also for someone visiting your Play Cafe for the very first time, how would you describe the overall vibe of the cafe?
That's kind of self-explanatory. When a child walks in, they come holding their hands, their parents' hands, as they walk up the steps to the Play Cafe. They're not sure what to expect. But when they open the door, they release their parents' hand and they go running because they can see the ball pool, the slide, the trampoline. They get really excited, and that in turn makes the parents very happy as well. So we have an area where the children can play, and then we have a small cafe area for the parents to sit and relax, knowing that their children are in a safe and happy environment.
So what age group does your Play Cafe cater to, and how do you ensure that every child finds something engaging in your Play Cafe?
So on the whole, we aim at children from 2 to 10 years, roughly. Families come with babies or so, and children under 1 year are free. They don't have to pay to come in, but they often like to sit in the ball pool and just play with the balls. And we've put in lots of different equipment that capture the attention of different children depending on their likes and dislikes. Some children are very energetic and they need to run and jump and they go wild, and we're happy to see that because we know that they're safe and they're releasing everything that's been kept inside them while they've been at school, and they're in a place that allows them to be themselves. So we have the things for energetic children, but we also have a reading corner for those who are a little bit quieter and they want to learn. They want to just sit down and look at picture books or have their mum read to them, their parents read to them. And then we have an area where there are cars. We've got a little garage and they can put the cars around on the mat and send it down the garage, and got a train track. I brought a train track from England when I went a couple of months ago, and kids love putting the tracks together. It's like a puzzle. They put the tracks together and then they can watch the train going around it. So we try to do things that cap every child's likes and dislikes, and sometimes we have a sensory wall as well. So some children who are really into senses, we have children that come with autism as well. They like to stand there and feel the different textures and see the things spinning around and stuff like that. So yeah, that's how we try to make it a space that is available for everyone.
Wow. As you narrate the stories of your Play Cafe, I wish I was a kid. I could come and play every day with the things that are available. Well, thank you so much for that. Well, we would also like to know how long you have been running this cafe and how has the response been over the years?
Yeah, so as I said, we started in November 2023. So we're at about 2.5 year mark now. And it's had a good response. Of course, we get positive and negative feedbacks, but that helps us to learn and grow. So that's fine. The first year was a little bit slow because the word hadn't spread at that time. But as the years go by, more and more people are coming to know about the Play Cafe and what we offer. And we've been really pleased with the response, especially to the activities that we do. We do different events, and we're always overwhelmed by how many parents want to send their children for those.
Kids, they are incredible critics, so has a child ever given you any feedback that changed something in the cafe?
I think the children just feel excited and overwhelmed by it, and they love coming here, so they don't see any negative part about it. Parents often give suggestions of how we can improve it or what we can add to it to make it more exciting or to cater to more children. So the parents are the critics, but we're always very thankful for their suggestions and their inputs.
So have you ever conducted any kind of workshops or kids-based seminars for the children that come to your Play Cafe?
Yes, throughout the year we host different events. So sometimes we have craft events, we have jewellery making. So we invited Burem Jewellery from Mokokchung. They came and taught children how to make their own traditional necklaces. We've had pizza making workshops, and we have lots of different events. We have movie nights as well. That's always a popular one, where the kids can come in the evening after dark, and we set up a big screen. They lay down on the bean bags and soft cushions, and they watch a movie together. So we do different events throughout the year, and people can keep track of those by following our Instagram page.
Wow, you give such movie-based experience to the kids, and I'm pretty sure that they really do have a lot of fun out here. So safety, when it comes to safety, it is a huge priority for parents. So what measures have you put in place to keep your play zone secure?
Yeah, so all our equipment is padded with soft foam to make sure that there are no sharp corners or anything that children can get injured by. And then we have CCTV as well to make sure that everything is running smoothly and the children are safe.
Also, an important question is, how do you maintain cleanliness and hygiene with so many energetic little visitors every day?
That's a very good question, and it's all credit to the staff that we have actually. They put in a lot of effort to make sure that it stays clean and tidy all the time. So we are based right next to the main road, which is very dusty. So we find it difficult during the dusty season to keep it clean, but the staff really work hard to make sure that it's clean all the time. And then, quite contrary to the locals here, we request everyone to take their shoes off when they come in. And at the beginning, some parents were surprised. But then I think people have realized that it's for hygiene's sake. And so people remove their shoes at the door and come in to stop dust and dirt being dragged in. And then we keep all the food items in the cafe areas. We try to encourage the children to eat in the cafe and not run around with their food. And then we encourage children to wash their hands if we notice that they're sticky or anything. So that's how we maintain hygiene.
Cleanliness plus discipline, that is what you're offering. Awesome. Well, running a kids space surely does come with surprises. So what's a funny or unexpected moment that has struck with you?
Okay, so we run a play group for 2 to 3 year olds. This year it's run for 3 mornings in a week. And we were expecting a lot of them to come kind of crying, not wanting their parents to go. But they've all come very happily and they stay for the whole session happily. And then when their parents come to pick them up at the end, they cry because they don't want to go home. So that's one funny experience that we're having at the moment on a daily basis.
Well, children, they do love playing rather than studying. So maybe your playhouse, though, I think it's just their safe haven for sure. So how do you also ensure that your cafe supports both learning and playing in a balanced way?
I think people don't realize how much can be learnt through play. So when the kids are sliding down the slide and jumping on the trampoline, that's their body learning about balance, that's their gross motor skills being developed. So that's part of learning as well. But we do other activities, like we have story times. So children come and they hear stories and we discuss what's been learnt from the books that we've been reading, and we do some activity based on those lessons that we're learning. And then we incorporate it with a playtime where they can go off and enjoy the equipment as well. So depending on what activity is happening at that time, we always try to make sure that there is learning and enjoyment together, side by side.
Well, it is said that All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So true. Your cafe is a total game changer for these little ones, bringing in some much needed fun and relaxation. Oh, how I wish I was a 5-year-old kid experiencing all these fun activities. The children really are lucky to have such an awesome place and make memories. What challenge did you have when setting up this unique concept in a town like ours, and how did you overcome them?
I think one of the greatest challenges was bringing the equipment and having someone who knew what they were doing to set it up. So that was an initial challenge that we had. And then one challenge, especially through the first year, we have set this up as a social enterprise. So we're not doing it for profit, but we want it to be available to everyone to come and enjoy the space. So finding a balance between making it cheap enough and accessible and still covering the costs, the running costs, so paying the rent, paying the staff, water bill, light bill, things like that. It took some time for us to find that balance, and it was quite challenging at first, but now thankfully we're kind of getting into the swing of it and we're learning what works and what doesn't work, and we're able to cover our ongoing costs.
Thank you for sharing that. So in what ways does your cafe create an inclusive environment where every family, no matter their background, feels seen, welcomed, and genuinely valued?
Okay, so we have tried to make it accessible to all families on all incomes. We charge a very nominal amount for the entrance fee, and then we also offer free school trips for government schools that have mostly children of lower incomes and lower backgrounds. We offer them to come and use the space for free. So if any government teachers or any government school are listening to this and they would like to bring their children to visit the Play Cafe, then we're very happy to host you so that these children can also have the opportunity of enjoying the space as well.
Oh, well, that's really beautiful and good opportunity for any government schools with children like that. No, they can always come and visit. From your personal journey, how do you hope to inspire young people to open their minds and press new possibilities and confidently follow their passions?
The main thing is not to give up. When you have something that you really want to do and you think that it's really going to work or it's going to benefit not only you but the wider community, I would say just try and pray also, because things are possible and things are very challenging here as well. You're not going to get anywhere just by clicking your fingers and making it happen. You have to work hard for it.
Could you also tell our listeners the location of your Play Cafe so they can bring their children to play?
So we're located at Indian Oil Junction between Yimyu and Kitchutip, and we are upstairs above the tyre servicing centre. We're open 6 days a week from Monday to Saturday, usually from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, but you can keep updated with the times on our Instagram page. And then on Saturdays, we're open from 11 till 6. Parents are also welcome to just come and drop their children and go off to the market or run some errands while their children are happy playing here, as long as they come and they give their contact number when they're signing in. And we charge 100 rupees per hour per child. Our Instagram page is theplaycafe.mokokchung, MKG.
How many staffs are employed at the moment here, and what is your plan for the future?
So currently we have 2 full-time staff and we have 1 part-time staff. And then we try to open up opportunities for college-going students during the winter and summer breaks to come and work part-time as well. And we hope that as things get busier, we might be able to give more opportunities like that. Our space is also available to people who don't have children but still want to come and enjoy the cafe area. We have free Wi-Fi that you can use. So if you're aspiring youth who wants to sit for exams soon and you just need a quiet space to come and hang out and read what you need to read, you're always welcome to come and use our space for a nominal fee as well.
Or do you also host birthday parties for the kids at your cafe?
We also host birthday events, so if you have a child whose birthday is coming up and you want to bring them and their friends to come and play in the Play Cafe, then you can contact us and come and use the space as well.
Thank you. We have been having a very wonderful conversation with Mrs. Hannah, so before we wind up with our conversations, I would like to ask you one last question, and that is, looking back on your journey from the UK to building a Play Cafe in a new country, what is the one belief or lesson that you carry that you hope every listener, young or old, will take with them today?
I think the main lesson is not to give up. There are always going to be challenges in whatever we do, and we shouldn't just give up because something is challenging for a while, because greater things are yet to come. And I think here we kind of sometimes we think, oh, I wish this was happening, I wish this was happening. But we wait for other people to take the step, or we wait for other people to do something about it. And there are lots of things that we can do about it ourselves. So we can take a step and decide, okay, let me bring the change. Let me do something for my family or for my community. And there's a quote by Lao Tzu, which says, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Sometimes it just takes one step to bring a change.
Thank you so much for your wise words. Well, as we wrap up today's conversation, we extend our sincere appreciation to Mrs. Hannah for sharing her insights and the inspiring story behind her children-focused play space. Her dedication to creating joyful, meaningful experiences for the young ones of our community is truly commendable. To our listeners, thank you for staying with us. This has been Mokokchung 360 on Akashwani Mokokchung.